ready?
No.
Man, listen. I just want to tell you one thing. You'll never be better than me on Sonic. I just want to tell you that because I'm like probably the greatest.
No.
The greatest.
You're semi-good on Sonic, but you're horrible at Splatoon.
But that's because I haven't played. Once I start playing, then I'll probably be the best person ever at that game. You already know.
Mm-hmm.
You don't think so? You don't think I'd be better than you at Splatoon? Splatoon 2. It's Splatoon 2.
Yeah, no.
What's your favorite game? What's your favorite game on Xbox? What's your favorite Xbox game?
Xbox game.
I know it's not like a Call of Duty or something. Even though Splatoon is kind of like Call of Duty.
No, it's not Call of Duty. I would have to say, despite people hating on it, I'll have to say Sonic 06. I hate the storyline though, and I hate how it's all glitchy and stuff.
Sonic 06?
Yeah, Sonic 06.
Okay.
Like, I hate how it's so glitchy in the storyline. I hate it too. But it's like the concept of the game, I still like it though.
Okay.
Like, it brings.
Well, you know, Sonic is one of my favorite video game characters of all time because that's like perfect Sega. Like you on the Xbox, but Sega used to be a console back in the mid-90s, early mid-90s. Sega was an actual console, just like an Xbox, and just like Mario was for the Nintendo, Sonic was for the Sega. So that was the mascot for the Nintendo. But go ahead.
Well, yeah, I like how Sonic 06 like kind of brung back the olden days for like Sonic, Sonic Heroes from Sonic Adventure and Adventure 2. Like they brung like older and newer characters into the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like you'd be able to play as them too. Like not them just being like in cutscenes or on the sidelines, or them just to help you. They're actually like playable.
Okay.
So like that's what I kind of like about Sonic 06. Like I like there's more than just like a few characters, like 6 or 3 or 5 characters. There's like a lot of characters, practically like 8.
So if you don't know, this is the Father's Day show, a show where men come together and talk about things from a father's perspective. And this segment that we're doing right now is I call this the Apple. It's basically where the host of the Father's Day show, or fathers in general, come together and talk one-on-one with their children about random different topics of any sort. And today I have with me my very firstborn, Jamari. I call him. He goes by the name of Jay.
Yeah.
Say what's up.
Hey.
So he doesn't really want to be on camera, so we have him from an angle where we can appease his needs and his wants. Before we start though, I just want to say this is a guy who has been with me through good times, bad times, rough times, tough times, and I love this young man with everything in my heart. Whether he knows it or not, it means a lot to me. Matter of fact, let's start here. Before you were born, when I was your age, when I was a kid, me and my dad, we had the relationship we had. I wanted it to be stronger. It wasn't. I always loved your pop, your granddad, but I wanted more interaction with him, and I wasn't able to get the interaction that I wanted. I don't know for what reason. Looking back, probably is because your grandmother and him weren't, together. So I guess I don't know if the communication between them was broken up, kind of like me, how your mom has a little trouble. I'm not sure if that was the reason why, but at the end of the day, I wanted to see him more. I wanted to be around him more. He was into motorcycle racing. One of the things that I really enjoyed growing up, we used to go to drag races a lot. And so before you were born, on my way up to manhood, I was like, I would love to have a son and give him the things that I wasn't able to get from your pop, from your granddad. And so that was my thought growing up before you got here. Now, once you got here, me and your mom was like super tight. We was close at the moment. And, our firstborn was coming into existence, little old Jay, Yeah, so the reason I wanted to be a father, like I said, I wanted to give I made a promise to you when you was in your mama's womb. You know, you was just a little fetus, what they call them, fetus. You know, we had to keep feeding you because you was eating a lot. You was eating a lot, and so what it kind of instilled in me was it made me make a promise to you that I would never leave you. I would always be there for you, no matter what you did, no matter how you lived, no matter what happened between me and you in the future, whatever. I would always be there for you. I would love you infinitely. Infinitely? Is that how you say it? Infinitely. Infinitely. And because of that, it made me make a promise. And the reason I'm having this conversation is because we've never had a talk this deep about my perspective and your perspective and how they combine as far as how we've been growing these first 14 years of your life. And so I wanted to sit down and have this talk with you on the Father's Day show, specifically because this show is about that. This show is basically about bringing dads and parenthood into the forefront of America. Because everybody love their mama. I know you love your mama, don't you?
Yeah.
Talk to me about your love for your mama that you have for your mom.
I love her as much as I love you.
Oh, so it's equal? I like it. So, all right. So, go ahead.
I mean, I know this might be a little bit biased because I have a dog and you don't.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I kind of love my dog equally as much as I love my mom.
I mean, you know, hey, there's nothing wrong with loving your dog just as much as, you know, you love your parents. But I would say he better be a close second or third or fourth. He better not be in the first or second spot. That belongs to me and your mom. You know, what spot is he in? Tell me what spot is he in. You know? You ain't got the last a second. Who first? Who first? You can tell the truth. Who first? Me or your mom?
Jade.
Jade?
Yes.
Your little sister?
Yes. You guys are tied in third.
So me and mom are tied for third.
Yes.
Your dog is second, and your little sister is first. Yeah. You know, I never thought about that. But then again, growing up, you guys were super, super tight. You know, I remember the first time you guys met. And for those who don't know, Jay is my oldest daughter. They have different mothers. Her and Jamari. So when they first met, I think she was maybe a couple weeks old or something. And you held her. You probably don't remember this. You were super young. Yeah, you remember this. And it made me realize that the promise that I made to you to be in your life full time was kind of about to unravel in a negative way. I wasn't really focused on it because, you know, I had a newborn and I had the first love of my life. But it kind of made me feel like that was about to unravel because I now have two families, children in two different households. And it didn't affect me at the moment of how deep that impact would be moving forward in my life and in you guys' lives. But it did make me, it kind of clicked in my head like something's a little off about this. You know, even though my love for you guys was just as strong and you guys' bond was beginning, I kind of realized like I got a lot of work to do to make sure this thing works. I'm young, 21, 2 years old and all that, so I had a lot of work to do moving forward. But when you were a baby, do you know what your first words were?
No.
Your first words. Now your mama can confirm this. She might not agree, but this was your first. Your first words was "dada," and you used to say "cup" all the time. Because I was like, "Dada, you want the cup?" You would say "dada," and you would say "cup." So yeah. So your first words. I'm not sure which one. I know "cup" followed "dada," but I don't know if it was "dada cup" or "dada." Then over time you start bringing "cup" into it. But you used to say "dada cup," and that's how you used to ask for your food, your baby food. "Dada cup," and I think I spelled that word with you CUP. You're a little baby, you couldn't spell it back, but you just cup. So that was one of a good memory that I had with you when you were growing up. And people don't know, me and your mom, we were together. And you lived with us, of course, because you were our kid, of course. But growing up, me and you were tight. Your mom was in school full time. She worked, And now I wasn't in school. I played football and I worked. So I spent more time with you in the beginning, the first couple of years, than your mom did because she was out, pursuing her career, and I was out, not doing anything with my life, as people say, pursuing football. And what happened was the bond that we had grew, and it just grew and it grew. Do you remember any of that? You don't remember any of that, do you?
No.
Yeah. You were 1, 2, and 3 during those years, and the bond that we had was so tight. People around us, they always saw me, and guess who they saw when they always saw me?
Man.
They saw you, and so me and you became synonymous. People hardly ever saw me without you, and what that did, it made people realize that this young man that's with him, he's a little different. This guy Alvin is a little different. He loves his son like hell. I mean, I used to be hanging out with my homies. And we'd be doing young man stuff, sipping on a little bit of, we didn't have no money at the times. So we sipping on some Pinnacle, we sipping on, whatever we do. And this might be a little irresponsible, but it's the truth. You were with me. You'll be with me during the times of like just sitting in the house playing the Xbox. You'll be with me always to times where we ride in the city bus together to drop you off at my grandmother's house before I go to work. And even during times where I'm hanging out with my partners and we're doing some stuff that we don't have no business doing, man. And people was always saying like, dang, Jamari is always with you. Jamari is always with you. And that's one thing that I wanted to make sure that I had you in my life full time. I wanted you to be respected. I wanted you to be honored. I wanted you to be loved and cared for by me, without any question of our relationship. I want you to know that you were my main man. I loved you to death. And then when Jay came along, I wanted the same thing. There was some issues with Jay's mom that kind of prevented that bond, but we still had the connection. Me, you, and Jay still had that connection. But you were there mostly, for the most part, just before Jay was born. So that's pretty much how we were growing up in your beginning stages. And then tragedy strikes. Now this is still before Jade. Tragedy strikes. You were about 2.5, 3 years old, right? What do you think that tragedy was that I'm talking about?
I don't know.
You don't know? You said you don't know, right?
No.
Alright, so the tragedy that happened was the breakup. Me and your mom was going through some tough times. We were young, we were young in our early 20s. I made some mistakes, she made some mistakes. I'll take full responsibility for my mistakes. And we've talked about that. We're going to have another discussion going in detail of all of that. But the breakup happened between me and your mom. And I took that extremely hard. I wanted to work things out with your mom because I made a promise to her and to you that I would always be there for you, that I would give you my greatest love that a father could give a son. And I felt like I was failing that. No, I didn't feel like I was failing. I actually failed at giving you that because me and her officially split. And what that did was she moved away out of the house and took you with her. And I took that very, very hard because you gotta understand, like I'm deeply in love with my son. I see him every day. We together all the time. I wake up in the morning, I fix you your breakfast, change your clothes, wash you, get you dressed. We hop on a city bus. We go to Grandma Viv's house, drop you off. I go to work, get off of work, come pick you up, and we go straight back to the house. Stop and get some food or do whatever we do. Lay on the floor, play some Xbox together. You had the little Xbox controller playing with me, looking up at me, seeing what I'm doing, and we just had a super bond. And all of a sudden, it's gone, right? So I took that very hard because now my day has changed. I'm waking up, you not there. She's not there, but you not there. My man, she wasn't there because she worked late night and she went straight from work to school. But it was just me and you. You were all I had. I anticipated waking up to be with you. I anticipated waking up to see you smiling, to see you crying, to see you happy to see me, to hug you and tell you how much I love you every single day. 2-3 years straight, right? And now that's gone. Imagine waking up and I'm not there anymore as a son. You know, the love that you have for me. Imagine waking up and I'm no longer here, right? That's what I was dealing with. So I became depressed. I became super sad. I became somebody who I never thought I would be. Everybody knows me as the guy that like to smile, laugh, joke, you know, have fun. But for a cool year and a half of my life, with you being gone, it was probably one of the worst experiences I ever went through in life, because the one that I love is no longer there. So the way I dealt with it in a very negative way. I harassed your mom at times, calling her over and over and over, texting her over and over and over, can I see Jay? When you coming home? Can I see Jay? When you coming home? And that caused a more of a division between us. And the way I took it was, I'm failing at my promise I made to my son, and I'm putting him in the situation that I was in growing up, not having his father around the way the kid wanted his father to be around, not being able to give the love daily the way I wanted the love daily from your granddad. And that caused an even deeper spiral. I was beating myself up because I couldn't give you the love I wanted to give you. And it made me angry. It made me aggressive. It made me not give a fuck, you know what I'm saying, about life in general. I wanted to leave here. I wanted to leave here. And by leave here, you know what I mean, don't you? I wanted to end it. I didn't want to live no more because I lived for you. You know, and that was one of the hardest things it took for me to get out of that, was missing you. Missing you just wasn't fun. Do you remember any other situations back then, like in the early years after me and your mom split up, when you were growing up 3, 4, 5, 6 years old, your elementary years, daycare years, all that stuff? Do you remember how that was? Talk about that.
I remember a few daycare years.
Talk about the daycare years, then we'll move to the elementary stuff.
Okay, so like I remember this like a few times, like in my daycare years, like we were practicing for like something, I forgot what it was, like I forgot the topic of that. But I also remember this one time, if I can remember it though. It was forever, I forgot about it.
Now listen, if you my son, you supposed to remember that. I can remember when I was born. When I was born, right, the placenta meat was, now I'm just playing, but I do remember a lot from preschool. You know, I was there with you quite a number of days, go visit you and go spend some time with you. You remember those? You remember those times? Yeah. We gotta record your memory, man. We gotta get you some ginseng or something. You remember any of those days? Me coming to read to the class, Miss Farrah. Remember Miss Farrah? You don't even remember your instructor?
I don't remember any teachers.
Oh my God, Jay, what is going on? All right, so we can fast forward past it. Do you remember your first day of kindergarten? Gee, buzz. Well, your first day of kindergarten, you went to a school that your mom, my mom went to. Some of your aunts, my great aunts and uncles. I went to, and you went to a school, Huntingtown Farms. Remember Huntingtown Farm?
Yeah.
I remember that. So, as I'm walking up on the campus to see my young man go to his first day of big people school, you know, elementary, I start having flashbacks because I remember the campus from when I went there for 2 years. I went there for kindergarten, first grade, and I think second grade. Kindergarten, first grade, and second grade. And I'm having flashbacks of memories of this little location when this happened, and that location when this happened, blah, 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 woo, woo. And I'm getting super excited. Now, you got to think, when your mom split up at around 3 years old to your first day in kindergarten at 5, it's a 2-year span. During those 2 years, I've been hella depressed for missing you, even though I wasn't necessarily showing it when I was with you. I've been hella depressed. So I kind of had a moment of being back to where it was before the split, of being super happy when I walk on campus of Huntingtown Farms, and I'm having these flashbacks of being a kid and all this, and I'm thinking about you as your first experience here, and I'm thinking Jamari's about to start creating memories that he's going to be able to look back on like I'm looking back on now, and I started getting excited about that because I had pretty much missed about 2 years of day-to-day memories with you. And all of this emotion was rushing back. So for one day, I got to forget about the pain I was going through from missing you. All because it seemed like I was getting a fresh new start by being with you on your first day of elementary. You had on, you might not remember this, but you had on some white tennis shoes, some low top tennis shoes, some blue jean shorts, and a red Mario shirt. Yep. I drove you to school that day, and you was in the back seat. And no, I picked you up from school. Your mom drove you, but I picked you up from school. And as I'm driving up there and I ride, I'm having all these memories, and I see y'all meeting your mom in the hallway. We walked to your classroom, and we're taking pictures outside of your classroom. You had this pose. You was like, I still got the picture. You was like doing something like this right here, right? And I was like, this is my man about to start this journey, elementary school, and talk about some of your earlier years at elementary school and some of the some good memories you had.
Well, I do remember a few field days we had there.
Okay.
I do remember that. And like, as I don't know like much of the inside of the building. I do recognize a lot of the outside, like the trailer area, the field, the playgrounds, like a fenced off area where kindergartens were like play inside that area. Yeah, I remember that stuff. But I'm kind of reminiscing on like the trailers because I had like a class in there. I think it was a music class.
Mm-hmm.
And that class had a lot of roaches in there.
A lot of roaches?
Yes.
In the class?
Yes.
What?
Either dead or alive.
In the elementary school, a classroom with a lot of roaches?
No, a trailer.
A trailer with a lot of roaches?
Yes.
Okay. Did anybody say anything about it? Any of the kids say anything about it?
I'm pretty sure a lot of the kids said something about it.
Oh my God. A memory that I had from Honeytown Farms, it's kindergarten, right? There was this is a little funny moment. We had these building blocks that we would play with in the classroom, and there was this triangle and this long, triangle wooden block, and this long, maybe a foot and a half, like small long block, and we put the triangle on the ground and made like a seesaw with the long board on top of the triangle. Well, one of the kids was a bad kid. I forget his name, but he put a block on. No. Another kid put a block on one end of the seesaw to make a seesaw, and the bad kid walked by, and as the other kid was placing the other block on the other side, the bad kid stepped on the side that was in the air, and the block flew up and hit the other kid in the chin, and the kid started crying, and I was like, "Oh, you gonna get in trouble!" And I remember, so it was a lot of mischievous stuff going on in those kindergarten classes, man. Back in there, this is early, like 89, 90. I'm telling my age right now. But yeah, it was dope because all this stuff is going through my brain at the time about memories, about things that happened at this school, and I'm like, my son is about to have the same experiences. And so, do you got any other memories of elementary school? Like I know you now. Listen, you scaring me because you forget all your memory, bro. Like, what's going on?
Like, I forget. Like, I know. I kind of remember. I kind of remember the elementary side and Huntingtown Farms.
Yeah.
But I do remember a lot in Berwick.
Okay, so that's your older years in elementary. That was what, from
second grade to fifth.
Second to fifth, right? Second to graduation into middle school. So, okay, tell me about Berwick.
Okay, so Berwick, I remember the whole entire campus. I remember the whole campus. Yeah. I know that. So, like, they had the gym in, like, one area, and then, like, if you get out the gym, like, just take a whole right, straight forward, that's a cafeteria.
Okay.
So, like, you got the cafeteria, you got the lunch food, and I'm like, why they gotta make such bad food? Some of it tastes good.
That's that CMS food,
tastes
man.
good. But the pizza crust tastes like cardboard.
Man, so this is going through your brain as you eating?
Yes! I'm like, please don't give me pizza. Please don't give me that type of pizza. And then I look at my plate, I'm like, I don't want this, but I have to eat it.
So did you know what you were going to be eating for the rest of the week? Did they give you guys menus in school?
No.
They didn't tell you guys what you were going to have so you would be able to plan when you need to bring food or when you need to
No, it was mostly a surprise because, like, sometimes I would like eat food from the school. Sometimes I won't. Sometimes I like bring food home, from home, and sometimes bringing food from home is. I prefer school food sometimes.
You prefer school? Oh wait,
no,
we
like,
gotta talk about that. Yo, mama gonna be mad at you. Like your mama cooking?
No, it's like the only thing that's kind of wrong with it is just like it's basic.
Okay. Yeah, like the school system just wants to get enough food, a certain nutrients, a certain amount of stuff to get the job done. They're not giving y'all, the stuff that that you want. It's just enough to get the job done. So I do remember the bad school. Did you guys have those square pizzas? We had those big square pizzas. They were triangle pizzas. It's like a big pizza on the pan. And we just cut it in like these rectangles, about a 4 by 6 inch pizza slice or something.
I don't think we had that. I think we had
actual Domino's
pizza bagels.
Pizza bagels?
Yeah, for breakfast.
What?
That's the only pizza for breakfast we had. Like,
y'all living good.
Yeah, it was really good though. Like, it actually tastes like pizza on a bagel.
Jesus. So they was just giving y'all the worst of the worst type of food, huh?
Some of the food was like bleh. Some of it was like very good. But like, it's kind of like in between sometimes. Like sometimes it's like I'm close to the good side, close to the bad side, but it's still in between.
Let me ask you this though: who was your favorite teacher? Give me your favorite teacher and your worst teacher at Berwick.
I'll have to say Miss Manus, my 5th grade teacher.
She was your what? Best teacher or worst teacher?
I think I'm gonna have to say best.
Okay, and what's her name again?
Miss Manus.
Shout out Miss Manus. I remember her. Shout out to Miss. I don't remember her face, but I remember the name. Shout out to Miss Manus right now. Why was she a favorite teacher?
I think it's because since I had like the entire like course for her, like reading, science, math, social studies for her, I got to like kind of connect with her a lot more instead of like transitioning from like math class to reading class to social studies class instead of like that. So like I got to kind of like connect with her a lot more instead of like some other teachers. So like that's probably why.
Okay. So we said Miss Manus was your best teacher is because you got to spend a lot more time with her. Did she do anything that was memorable that you can carry with you to help, I guess, have a better life, or like a memory, like something she taught you? Like I had one of my favorite teachers when I was growing up, and he knows your granddad too. He knows your pawpaw. His name was Mr. Lightsey. And one thing Mr. Lightsey taught me was to respect women. He taught me to respect women. And I take that with me to this day because I was a funny kid in school. Like I got a lot of attention from girls. And he saw me touch a girl's bosom. And he brought me over and had a talk with me. It was when we went to a field trip the Outer Banks a long time ago. And he saw me touch a girl's bosom. Like, he was a girl that was a friend of mine. I just touched her real quick. And I'm a kid. I don't know what's going on. I'm just enjoying myself. And he brought me over. Said, "Hey man, why you do that?" I was like, "I don't know. I just wanted to do it." And he's like, "Man, you can't do that. You gotta respect women. You gotta respect young ladies. You can get in trouble for that. It's very important that you respect the people around you, especially young ladies, because ladies deserve to be treated nicely. Ladies deserve to be treated with respect." And at the time, I just was like, I took it as, don't do it so you won't get in trouble. But as I got older, that always stuck with me because I grew up in the culture, like now you guys grew up in the PC culture. Y'all not allowed to say 99% of the words we said growing up. You're not allowed to do certain things without getting canceled or considered a pervert or something to where your life can be shut down from something that we consider normal growing up in the 80s and 90s. Like if you watch some of our movies, remember yesterday we was watching Major Payne, right? And we laughing at some of the jokes that Major Payne was saying. He was calling the kids all type of names and everything like that. And it was comedy. But if that movie were to come out today, to see a grown man treating young children, making them run around the campus in dresses as punishment, you know what I mean? Like just doing all type of despicable stuff to them. It's comedy to us from our generation, but in today's generation, it's considered to be evil, right?
That is horrifying.
It was horrifying, right? So your best teacher was Miss Manus, and that's what it was. She's showing you memories about things. So the what Mr. Lightsey told me about respect, it didn't register with me at the time. But in today's world, like treating people, not just women, but treating people with respect can go a long way. Today's society is making us force positivity in a sense. Like Instagram has filters now that if you post negative comments, it won't even allow you to post, or you can get banned. Talking bad about people can get you taken off of platforms like Facebook, social media, and all that, Twitter, and all that good stuff. And that's a bad thing because it doesn't allow people to genuinely be themselves, nor does it allow people to be able to absorb negativity and fight it off. But it's a good thing because it shields you from even having to deal with it in the first place. And so Mr. Likesy was kind of like my Instagram filter or my Twitter filter back in the day. Like, hey man, don't do that. Don't. So I wasn't able to learn my lesson. Like I wasn't able to hear a girl say, don't touch me like that or whatever. And it's a bad thing because, like I said, I wasn't able to go through the trials and tribulations. But it's also a good thing because he stepped in ahead of time to prevent me from even having to deal with it. So there's pros and cons of that. And so that's a good memory that I always had with a teacher that I loved. And so what kind of memory, and I kind of went along with it, what kind of memory do you have with Miss Manus that you feel like will stay with you throughout your life that can help you out in life?
Okay, so I think there was this one time where her mom died. And I was kind of shocked because like, oh, I feel bad now.
You feel bad now?
Yeah.
Now you feel bad. This kid, I tell you. This kid.
I didn't even phrase it like that, no.
Yo, man. I raised him, but I didn't raise him. See? Okay, so her mom died, and now you feel bad.
No, not now. I felt bad in the past, and I still do, okay?
Her mom was sick, right?
I think she was, and then like a couple of months later, then she died.
Okay,
that year.
Right.
So then, like, I kind of felt like, oh, I have some older family members I have, and then I'm kind of worrying about them.
Mm-hmm.
Like a couple of years ago, Mama died, right?
Right.
So then, like,
my mom was my great grandmother, his great grandmother. Go ahead.
So I was like, okay, she's family, and she also died, and now I kind of feel like I kind of went through what Miss Manus had to go through.
Right.
So I'm like, I should like appreciate my family members a lot more. Yeah, kind of in that kind of sense.
Okay, so it gave you an experience of loss, experience of death, what it's like to lose a family member, and you got to see it firsthand with your teacher and how she handled it, and then you got to experience it yourself when Mama died. And so that's a good thing though, to deal with death. That's a grown-up problem, to deal with death the appropriate way, to be able to have sorrow and grief, but make it through. See how a person deals with it and makes it through, to stay positive and keep having positive impacts on you and the other kids, as well as teaching you in the process of how to deal with it yourself if and when it happens. So yeah, that's good. All right, so let me ask you this: moving forward, you go make it through elementary, then you get up to middle school. The middle school years, you kind of came and went. Like that. It's like this is your first year in high school, right? And the issue that I kind of wanted, well, not necessarily issue, but one thing I wanted with my son, with you, starting in middle school, was I wanted you to play some sports. I wanted you to play some track, play some baseball or something and the reason being, I played sports in middle school and high school and all that. And I wanted your pop to be there. You know what I mean? I wanted to be able to look up in the stands and see him. He came to some of my events, but I wanted it to be like a normal thing. And I didn't really have that. So one of the reasons I wanted you to play sports from middle school and all that was because I wanted to show you that I wanted to be there for you. You played soccer and baseball in youth leagues and rec leagues from like age 6, and just to be straight up about it, I wasn't necessarily told when you had games. I wasn't necessarily told the times and all that. So I didn't really get a chance to see you play every game like I wanted to. I didn't get a chance to be there for you and cheer for you and support you through those times, and I really wanted to, and it affected me in a negative light because, like I said, I wanted that from your pop, and then now that you're playing sports, I want to be there for you because I never gave that to you, and it made me dislike your mom once again because I wasn't getting the information needed to be able to support you through your activities, whether you wanted to play sports or not. I wanted to be there to show you that I got your back. You know what I'm saying? I even told you, I used to tell you, hey man, if you want to play soccer, don't just play soccer at practice. Come home and practice. When you finish your schoolwork, finish your chores, man, get the soccer ball and practice your footwork, practice your dribbling, as they call it. And it hurt me because I wanted to be the dad that when my son got home, we go in the backyard and throw the ball with him. I kick the ball with him. I teach him some techniques. We look up videos and all that stuff. But I couldn't do that because you don't live with me, right? You live with your mom. And I'm like, my son needs to know his dad got his back. My son needs to know that his dad is going to help him with things that he needs help with. Help him develop and grow and become a better man as well as a better sports player. You know, and so when you step on that field, even though it's fun and recreational, you're going to be the best person out there having fun and when you're doing all that. Because I strive to make my son have an attitude of positive, productive, the best work ethic a person can do on and off that field. But I wasn't able to instill that in you regularly because you didn't live with me. And there's situations where your mom wouldn't allow me to come to the house when, all this stuff is going on. And I'm like, in my mind, like, dang, I can't give my son the love that I want to give him. That's just one example of the time passing and the growth happening where I was kind of falling short on my responsibility as a father to you. I wasn't there for you like I know I should have been. Whether it's her fault or mine, I take blame for it. Because I could have taken bigger steps that I should have, whether I was aware of it or not. I wanted to give you all of that stuff, but have barriers in the way to be able to do that. And I know it probably affected you in a negative light because I'm sure you wanted me to be there at those games. I know you wanted me to be there cheering for you in the stands so you could come off the field and hug me and see what it is. And I came to some games, but I wasn't at them, as much as I should have due to some other information. Lack of information, lack of knowing when the games were, what the games were at times, and stuff like that. And she did her part in some manners by telling me some of the games, some of the times, and some of those I couldn't make it to because I was playing myself. But for the most part, throughout the early in the years and stuff like that, I missed a lot of time with you, supporting you in those stands because I didn't have the information, and it made me feel like a father that's a less than type of father. So, in your life, how does it feel to not have me? Or if you feel bad about it at all, you may not even feel bad. You may feel like you have me. But how do you feel about not having me in your life on a day-to-day basis growing up once the split happened? And you can be honest. You can tell me how you feel about me, not being there, and all that. Keep it about me now. Don't talk about your mama. We ain't gonna go there. This me and you talk. This is the apple. The apple don't fall far from the tree. That's why I call it that. So tell me about your what you think about, what goes through your mind with knowing I haven't been there for you like on a day-to-day basis.
Well, the fact that you are still with me and I do still visit you doesn't really change the fact at all.
Okay.
Like, there's some people that don't have fathers at all or can't see them. Mm-hmm. And it's not with you and me. So I'm like, at least I have a father that I can still see.
Right.
And that is still here. And yeah, like I said, it doesn't really change the point because like I can still see you. I can access to see you and you can access to me. So yeah.
That's good. I mean, it's good to hear that from you because, like I said, we were together all the time before the split. And from my perspective, the way I felt about my love for you, a day without you hurts. You know what I'm saying? To this day, like, a day without you hurts. You have your mom and you have me when we're together. So you've kind of gotten used to me not being there on a day-to-day basis because it's been the majority of your childhood. So you've grown up being used to me not being there. I've been here before you and after you, but before you and while you're here. And I grew up always wanting to be in my child's life, day to day. Be that father who is active, not passive, not that part-time dad, but that full-time dad, giving my child the love that he or she deserves, the love that he or she needs, the nurturing from a father's perspective, what that child needs to grow up and to be a well-balanced individual with equal love from the mom and dad. And although you've grown up being used to me not being there, I'm not used to that. Even though I grew up like that, because your dad was kind of similar. The function that we have together is kind of the same function that I had with your pawpaw, and I didn't want that. So when the separation happened, every day I'm missing you, because in my brain before you even got here, my mind was, I'm not leaving this man. I'm not going nowhere. I'm gonna be here every day. So it's affected me, tremendously. I've had bouts of depression, bouts of sadness, bouts of all type of negative emotion that a man will go through who loves his child and is not able to see him on a day-to-day basis. And I'm glad to know that you aren't negatively affected by it, because that would hurt me tremendously to know that it's hurting you. So I'm glad you're able to see it in the positive light. But for me, I'm not gonna lie, I miss you, man. I miss you every day. Like just the fact that you about to go back home with your mom, that makes me sad, because I'm about to be in the house, and you're not there. Like just seeing you play the game brings excitement to me. Playing the game with you yesterday brings excitement to me. Going out places brings excitement. Going to see your friends and your cousins and family members, having you around me makes me feel like I'm making up for lost time. But I don't want you to leave. I want you to live with me. I want you to be with me, on a regular basis. But I know how you feel with your mom, because you've grown up with your mom. So that's the norm for you. That feels more comfortable with you, because that's how it's always been. But I've been suffering, just to be honest with you, because I love my kids. I love you. I love your brothers and sisters, and I want you guys here with me. Because the father I want to be, I can't be there. I haven't been that thus far, and that eats me alive. And that's what I've been dealing with. But it's good to know that you can see the positive in it. Your uncle, your older uncle, my older brother. Guess what? The fact that you mentioned, at least I have a father, at least I can see him. Guess what he's dealing with? His father died before he was even born. He never had a chance to even see his father, let alone have his father there, but can't see him as much. He never had the opportunity for any memories with his dad, because his father was passed away before he was even born. So the fact that you're able to recognize, take the cup half full type approach, like at least I have my dad, at least I can see my dad here and there. Some people can't even see their dad. Your uncle is one of them. He can't even see his dad because his dad passed before he was even born. So that's good that you have that positive outlook on things. But we're gonna continue this conversation. This is just a series on the Father's Day show that I call The Apple, where fathers speak one-on-one with their children or child, to just talk about some of the things that they're dealing with, or talk about something positive, negative, some BS, or just random stuff, man. And I want to continue this series on the Father's Day show, because I think it's really important. It's a lot of conversations I wanted to have with my children and my nieces and nephews and stuff like that we haven't really had time to sit down and have. So this is the first session of that. It's my oldest son Jay right here. I'm Al, aka Midway Alvin. You can catch me on the Father's Day show every Sunday. Show starts at 7. I'm gonna just say 7 to 8. We bring you guys content about fatherhood, perspectives from the father's perspective. We're not here necessarily to beat down women, but we are here to big up the fathers, man. And that's been this episode of the Father's Day Show, man. It's Midway. Go make sure you guys follow the YouTube page. Go to YouTube, type in SPMediaTV. Click on the channel page. Go to the playlist tab. Scroll down to the Father's Day playlist, and you'll find all the Father's Day content. Be sure to go to the Facebook page as well. Hit the follow and the like button on the Facebook page. Make sure you follow the content there. We're going to post up content weekly there as well. Again, it's been Midway here with the first session of the Apple. I may change that name. The apple. When it comes from the apple, don't fall from the tree. Anyway, man, it's not any day. It's Father's Day. We out.